Well, Peter Gethin used to race a car very similar to these you're seeing now at Crystal Palace in his heyday. And a nice lineup of single-seaters here as we return back to the sprint organised by the Sevenoaks and District Motor Club. And some novices amongst the competitors. 172 there, just powering off the line in these Westfields. That's Ian Crocker. 176 Dave Pearce and his 1983 Van Diemen. Lights go green for 177 John Sharp. That's a Van Diemen just a year younger than the Dave Pearce one. RF 84. Now we switch back a long way, turn the clock back to this beautiful 1927 Fraser Nash, staged here by Stephen Pike, and off he goes. But next, let's talk to Norman Goodman about his Bugatti.
Well, now you open up the bonnet, and this is the wonderful power unit that Bugatti are so renowned for. And when you open the bonnet, you can see it's a piece of artwork, really. This is a straight 8-cylinder engine with a multi-valve head, and over here you've got the supercharger. Underneath there is the carburetor, and the methanol comes in through the blower, down through the induction chamber here, and straight into the engine, and there it is. It's just so pretty underneath the bonnet that it's a sheer work of artistry, and I think you've got to say that it's as pretty underneath the bonnet as it is above. And then you come to the cockpit, and in the cockpit the procedure is that the first thing you do is you come here, and over here is the pressure system. So what you have to do is you have to turn this lever like that, and then you have to pump it up so that you get yourself something like 2.5 pounds of air pressure. And what that pressure does is it pressurizes the tank here so that the fuel supply runs through there. On that side, as you can see, there's a control which you turn on to let the fuel go through, and then you've got your self-starter mounted on top of the gearbox. Press the button and away it goes. Now, I really don't think there's anything anywhere that'll ever sound like that, no matter who makes what.
There's one happy man. Here's one of those old 500cc Formula 3 cars. Number 35, Henry Brooks in the Juno, a pretty rare machine. We need Duncan Rabagliati to tell us the history of that one. Paul Richards in his Porsche 914 GT. So many different types of car here, lots for the enthusiast to see, and this car's certainly going well. But here's one of the quickest cars out there. Richard Hutchings really is trying very hard and heading towards joint fastest time of the day is Richard Hutchings. And this is the other man that did that joint fastest time, Ali Serpent in his Metro 6R4. And a Ford RS200 there, rare beast indeed, 148 Richard Lee. Another quick man here, Les Lyons in an Escort RS 1800. He was sharing that with Gerry Marshall, and Phil Tabor spoke with him.
Gerry Marshall, the man to win at the last meeting here back in 1972. What's it like to be back 27 years later?
Well, it's lovely, really. A lot of things have happened since then, but I'd forgotten what a lovely setting this is, to be honest. It's also sad to see that the main track has basically disappeared as such, but it was a lovely place. Something like this in the middle of London, it's such a shame it's been allowed to slip back. It's a lovely place, though.
It's a track with a really rich history, isn't it, since the 20s?
Yes, I mean, in the late 30s and 50s, there was some super racing here. I mean, Jochen Rindt first made his name here. The ERAs, Arthur Dobson, Prince Bearer. There's been some super races here, and it is steeped in history. And of course, the original Crystal Palace was here, which burned down. And well, it brings back a lot of memories coming here, to be absolutely honest. Yeah.
What were you racing back in 72?
Well, 72, I won the last race at the last meeting, and that was in a Lister Jaguar. But at that time, I was racing Vauxhalls and Jaguars and things. But the last race was a historic race for the JCB Championship, and I was driving a 3.8 litre Lister Jaguar, and a good race, and just managed to win.
Well, unfortunately, that's all we got time for on this week's Wheelbase Club. We'll bid you farewell from Crystal Palace, but we'll leave you with a sneak preview of what's coming up on next week's show.